Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and I am back. I know I said that I was going on hiatus until September, but then I started getting all of these calls about the show and about potential guests, and then I decided to come up with this new idea. Instead of Horizons in the studio, we'll be doing Horizons at home. So I think I kind of like the idea, and I appreciate all of you showing so much love and letting me know how much you actually appreciated the show. I really, really appreciated that. And so I want you to enjoy this first episode. We will be talking with a former Canadian Football League player named Cory Poop Johnson. He was actually supposed to be here in New Orleans last month with the crew of Lit, but because of the quarantine, he was unable to come. So we're just doing a longer interview with him. You may have seen him on Horizons back in February, but or actually in early March. But we wanted to have him back so we can get to know him just a little bit more. And I think you'll really, really enjoy this interview. And if you like this new format, if you like the guests that we're having on the show, drop down in the comments, show your love. Let me know what you think. Let me know what we can do to make it better, what we can do, what we're doing that's just totally great. We should never change. We want to hear from you, and we want this show to continue to be for the people and about the people. So I look forward to this interview. I hope you will too. And let me know what you think. So once again, welcome to Horizons at Home. Cory Poop Johnson has been playing football since he was a young boy growing up in Columbia, South Carolina. He later moved to Pennsylvania, and after graduating from high school, Cory attended and played football at a junior college and later moved on to play for the University of Kentucky as a defensive lineman. Let's get to know this athlete turned
Okay.
author. Hey, why you laughing already?
I don't know. I guess I'm excited to be doing this. I don't know, man. It's just, I haven't had no excitement in my life lately.
Well, with this
So
coronavirus going on, not too many people have had excitement, and the people who have had excitement are probably doing something wrong.
exactly, exactly. So that's why I say I'm thrilled to be doing this with you because this is the highlight of my day.
Well, all right. I'm glad to be your highlight.
Well, thank you for being
Well, I want to
it.
thank you for being the first person to, or the first guest on Horizons at Home. Because, before I did it in the studio,
Yeah,
much love to the New Orleans Talk Network, but with this virus going on and we can't really leave the house. So I guess what we're going to be doing is Horizons at Home. And I'm not the only talk show host doing it. I mean, look, they're doing
yeah,
it on the Talk, on the View. Wendy Williams is doing it now. All of the late
yeah.
night talk shows are doing it. So I don't feel too bad.
No, I mean it's good though, because this is the best time to do it because people are tuning in because you have nothing else to do. So it's
Right, right,
that phone surge then probably went through the window because outside of TV in the house, that's really all you got
right.
unless you're a video game player.
Yeah,
Uh,
I have never really been a big video game player, even when Atari was out. I know you're probably a little too young to remember Atari though.
I don't know it in the physical, but I know it by name. I never seen a physical Atari, but I do know of it by name.
Man,
Oh,
Atari
that's
was
the
the
game that
joint.
you had
People don't understand.
that was just the block and the ball, ain't it? Is
Well,
that is that what
yeah,
the Atari
yeah. There
was?
was it was like a little block, and there was a little red button on it, and there was the little joystick handle, and people were
Yeah.
so into it that they would just pull the whole joystick out.
Hey, hey, because I can believe them things probably was made faulty back in them days.
But you know what? We didn't know it was faulty. I mean,
Yeah,
it was the first time
that's,
we had video games. We got excited.
that's what you had. Yeah, yeah. I've
We
never been
went
a
to
big video
Nintendo.
gamer. Yeah, video games for me is like I'm not hip on none of the new systems because I suck at video games, and I'm not wasting money on something that I know I'm gonna lose in. So I'm one of those people. I keep my old Xbox. I tell other people when they pick on me about having the old one, I always say it's my DVD player, but it's really a self-esteem thing for me. Like, if I beat the game that I've beat 20 times, then I feel like I accomplished something. I ain't gotta.
Oh. So I'm guessing when you join the CFL and people are excited to see this gigantic guy, this 280-pound guy playing defensive tackle, and so they start to interview you, and they ask you, how much do you really weigh?
Yeah. Yeah. Every time I get interviewed, it's either, well, when I was football, it was either about poop or something about my weight. And like I said, I think that was because I do go up and down a lot. I do go up and down a lot, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I guess I don't know. Hold on, what was your question again? Because I'm trying to think at the same time, but I might have missed the question.
It's okay. I was actually going to work toward. So they're interviewing you, and then you say, I am any day I'm either 280 up to 300, and they say, how does your weight fluctuate? And then you gave them your famous answer. Did you ever feel that people were paying a lot of attention to the name and you wanted to just be known for football?
Yeah, it was some points to where it was like, after I had a good game or I done did something great, it's like, I want the focus to be on the fact that I did some great things, and but then it was just like they didn't really. The football aspect of my life wasn't really important. It was poop, it was the nickname pooping, and I could tell some coaches were, anytime it was almost like with my nickname, coaches and teams started looking at me as a distraction, and I ain't even did anything yet. It was just
Right.
stigma around the name, the attention that it was getting. It was just like I guess the negative attention, as in from being called poop. I guess that rubbed coaches wrong, or whatnot. Even though no matter what, everywhere I went, I started. I was a starting player. It was just like I always had to battle through the stigma. Yeah, but it was like at the same time I embraced it. I didn't run from it. I didn't mind it. But
Right.
at some point in my career, I got tired of always having to prove myself. No matter if I got in trouble at another team, which I've never been in trouble, but then I'll come to another team and still got to prove myself. Yeah, it was getting old, but I didn't mind it because of the name. But I didn't mind. I didn't like the stigma that came.
Did it cause you to play harder?
Yeah, it did because a part of embracing the name, it was one of those things. When I first got the nickname in college, I was sitting on I was a bench. I was a bench player. I didn't, I was a third down player. So I was good at getting sacked, but other than that, unless it was like 35 or more, field. But when I first got the nickname, it was like I didn't really care for it because I think people use it as a tool to ridicule me or to pick on me or whatnot because I wasn't playing as much. And I don't know, but I did use it as a tool to fuel me because I knew if I didn't make it, if I wasn't successful, if I didn't even get a shot at anything, I knew it was gonna come back to bite me. Like people call me poop, literally. So for me, it was either I was going to be known as poop or be known as shit. Sorry for my language.
I like that though. I like that. He was also drafted to play for the Atlanta Falcons during the 2016 NFL Draft. From there, he played briefly with the Kansas City Chiefs before moving to Canada to play for the CFL. After playing with various teams, he finally signed with the Toronto Argonauts in February 2019. continue with it. How did football come into your life?
Yeah, so I played Pee Wee League on up, and football was never a sport that I loved, but it was a sport that I was always good at. And once I got to the point to where, you know, like I said, I don't back down from challenges. So once I think the first time I actually realized I wanted to keep playing is when I went to a camp when I was living in Pennsylvania. Temple University had a camp, and in the camp for kids, and everybody come out and display their talent. And I went up there, and I think out of like over 20 something one-on-ones, I didn't lose one, and I left with I think I was the only guy that left the camp with an offer, because they usually don't offer on on the camp spot. They usually wait and then contact you. So once that happened, and they came to my school and helped me get on the right track, because I wasn't really thinking about going to college. But it was 3 black coaches, and I got a tattoo to honor them, because they really helped me get my life on the right path. So, and once I started playing and kept progressing, and it just, if I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna keep working, and I just kept working and kept going, and so here I am still going, and hopefully I get another call. If I don't, it's whatever. I'm perfectly fine with it. Team that I was about to play for, and it was a scam. So I ended up being stuck in Jersey for a couple months. And then I walked on to a team in New York because I couldn't take it in Jersey. I was getting in trouble. Me and like 3 of my friends, we didn't have no money. We didn't have jobs. We were doing stuff to get money to go to school, to get gas to go to school, and I got sick of it. And because it was just too much. And so I got in contact. I had a friend that went to ASA College in Brooklyn, New York, and I called, and they was like, "Yeah, we don't have any more scholarships, but you can walk on to the team and just see how it goes." So yeah, I walked on, made it, and just kept going.
All right. So you actually been able to see football from both points of view, from the NFL as well as the CFL.
Yeah. So I got a lot of football IQ just from playing and being around so many great players at so many different levels, from like the CFL to the NFL. Yeah, and like I say, to me, even though I haven't been able to be on a team and get that big contract, but the fact, to me, the greatest thing for me is the fact that I'm able to go. Because when I was at Kentucky, I set the bench my first year until and I only had 2 years. Like I think my first year I set the bench, and then my second year, the coach was planning on sitting me again. Why? I don't know. Me and him, we still don't talk to this day. But the guy that was in front of me, after like the 3rd game, he got hurt, and it led to me having to step up and play. And so with 9 games left, I was still blessed to be all SEC and have a chance. I think we only had 1 or 2 guys drafted that year. I was still able to break a couple records.
What do you think is the biggest difference between the 2 leagues?
I mean, the major difference is pay. Because if you're not, and I'm not going to speak for the quarterbacks in the CFL because they get paid something different, way different. But like for a D lineman, an all-star, the best D lineman in the league, a great contract for him in the CFL is $200 something $1,000. But in the league, a practice squad guy that practice 3 times a week makes that. So
right.
So that's and then you got some rule differences, and D line, O line got to play a yard away from each other. There's 12 guys on the field in the CFL compared to the NFL having 11. So
right.
It's a lot of little different rule changes, but it's nothing really major.
So it's nothing that you're going to have to overcome too much if you get to come back to the NFL.
No, because my job is the same. Like, there's no rule change. The only thing that I'm going to have to readjust to, which is, which I'll be happy about, is moving closer to the ball. Because in the NFL, you can get, the ball in between the O-line and D-line, you can line up as close to it as you can. In the CFL, when the center put the ball down, you got to line up a yard away from it. So the fact that I'm able to get closer, as a D lineman, that is a major difference. I like
that. What are your favorite foods to eat when it's off season? And then what are your favorite foods to eat when you're training?
I eat the same thing. So
really?
It ain't no. It ain't no. I'm one of the fat guys, so I don't. But I work out so much, so it don't really. I feel like my food don't affect me. I'm one of them people that I get my cardio done during the day. For now I'm just whatever I do. But I'm one of them people. I do cardio in the morning, afternoon, and I do my workout. Yeah, I'm more of a soul food. I love my soul food. I'm a soul food. Macaroni and cheese, baked macaroni.
My goodness.
That's a deal breaker right there. Macaroni and cheese, that's a deal breaker. But chicken wings, fanatic, chicken tenders. Between chicken wings and chicken tenders and macaroni and cheese, that's really my whole diet. Just throwing a cheeseburger there once in a while, but yeah, if I'm a cook, if I'm cooking, I cook healthy. I think the best thing about me is that I learned how to cook healthy first. So I cook healthy. So when it's time for me I just want to eat. Oh, chicken wings.
If you're ready to eat, you just gonna eat.
I'm just gonna eat. I'm not thinking about calories.
But does that affect your workout in any way? I'm guessing not.
But I wouldn't know because this is what I've been doing. So maybe if I stop eating hamburgers so much and just try to straight healthier diet. But I wouldn't know. I eat how I eat.
I got you. So with that said, what type of athlete do you feel that you are? Are you a person who just wants to get in there and do it? Do you have a whole method to preparing? What type of athlete do you feel that you are?
Me, I'm a preparation. I'm definitely a preparationer, and that comes from being the underdog my whole career. Because I feel like my whole career I've always been the underdog. But so my work ethic and my sheer want to had to be on a different level. It had to be on a, I was the person like if we got to train at 9:00, and there's another group doing the same workout at 7, I'll show up at 7 and still do it at 9. I'm one of those people that can be in great shape, be in great physical shape, and I'll look at myself and be like, I ain't in good enough shape. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like I'm always in constant competition with myself. And, that comes from, I feel like I'm always having to prove somebody wrong about something, whether it's, about the person who I am or about my gameplay. So, yeah, I think I am. I don't know. I was about to start getting carried away. So I was like, yeah.
Oh, that was a good answer.
Yeah. Okay.
So what is a good game to you? When is it that when you leave the field, what makes you say, I think I played a really good game? This was a great game.
Honestly, probably if I make a certain amount of plays, because in college at Kentucky, for me, if I made over 10 tackles or so, I know I had a good game. But for me, honestly, I think when it got to the professional league, just finishing the game and knowing that I didn't make any errors, that was probably the biggest thing.
Like that.
Yeah. So making sure I have any errors. I don't know. Like I said, I've always had to battle the stigma. So I was the person that if I messed up one play, oh man, it goes back to the poop man. focus. He's not in this playbook. I could have been studying 12 hours last night.
Right.
Let me miss one play. It's like I've never done anything.
He is now a free agent, hoping to return to the NFL. But he isn't just sitting around doing nothing.
But I'm very creative, and I've always been a big visual. So I've never been a big reader. So writing this book for me, even though it's a children's book to start, that was an accomplishment for me because I've never been a big reader, but I've never been a person to shy away from challenges. So,
well, what made you decide to write a book?
I've honestly always wanted to, but I just never could dial in on what I wanted it to be about. And when I was playing football in Toronto, after the Poop Johnson thing went viral for the second time, they wanted me to read a book to a kid, and I was telling them, I was like, I'll do it. I don't mind reading, but I'm one of those people, like when you ask me to read in a pressure type situation, or like in the middle of the class they ask you to read and you mess up on one word, I start to fumbling. So I was like, I can't bring myself to read on live TV because if I mess up on one word, I'm done. So he was just like, oh, well, why don't you come up with your own book? And then, me and Mel came together and I told her the idea and we put together something quick, but the buzz that came back from the fake book that I made was so major. It was like, man, maybe I should, actually try to write a book. And that's what kind of led me to actually start writing.
So, now, when I first looked at the title, I was like, this can't mean what I think it means. So, tell me about the title and why you decided to write about poop.
So the title is kind of nasty, just because of the thinking that I had when I thought of Poopy Stew, and so the I can't even get it out. The thought behind it was, because when you read the book, it basically leads up to you having to use the bathroom, whether it's chilling to eating to playing, and I basically made Poopy Stew because everything that you ate is being digested and you pooping into the toilet, and once you flush it, it's like Poopy Stew. That's the poop water. So it's, I just came up with the name Poopy Stew because I think I was laughing about it. I think me and Mel was laughing about it. I was describing it by trying not to go and without trying to be too nasty talking about poop. And I came up with the name Poopy Stew to kind of lighten it up. And it was just so funny to me, and I just stuck with it.
Well, I like it because the reason I like it is because you're taking a bodily function that many people think is gross or what have you, or funny, because they have all these poop jokes. So many comedians resort to doing poop jokes. That I like the fact that you're taking this bodily function and you're showing people how important it actually is.
And it's and people are I don't know what it is about saying the word poop or just discussing it, and to me it's just, I think it's hilarious. Maybe it's a guy thing or whatnot, but I think it's hilarious. So to me, I just wanted to, with my nickname being Poop, I just figured I would shine a light on it.
If you had to tell somebody what the book was about, what would you say?
I would tell somebody it's about a dog, because the character is a dog and people didn't know that. It's about a dog that's enjoying life till its fullest as a young pup, and and it's basically illustrate that what goes in must comes out, and I'm just picking fun of it.
Was this a process to because with the children's book you're not just writing, because I'm an author but I just write. I don't have to worry about illustrations. So, what was that process? So to write and then find an illustrator who can really bring your vision to life. Did you have to go through a process or a number of illustrators before you're able to find the right person?
No, I mean finding an illustrator was easy because all I had to do was sit down on my bed and pick up a piece of paper and pencil and start drawing.
You drew it
But
yourself?
yeah,
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
yeah, the hardest thing for me was to figure out what my character was gonna be because I sat down and I drew probably about 10 to 13 different characters.
Wow.
Yeah, and most characters a lot. That sounds like a lot, but it really be about it's probably about 4 characters. With a little design tweak. Maybe tweaking how the eyes look, the ears, and I came up with that with the with the ghetto Snoop Dogg, not Snoop Dogg. What's that dog name? The ghetto Goofy that I got because I don't know. That character was just. I got that character from trying to draw Goofy back in the day, and that's what I came up with, and I kind of just kept it because it was like, well, that's my personal Goofy. That's
That's
my
too
dog.
funny.
That's my personal dog right there.
Now you were supposed to come to New Orleans for the Crew of
Yeah.
Lit and release the book here in New Orleans, but of course, with the set of coronavirus, you weren't able to do that. So, where can people find your book now?
Right now you can go through Amazon. They got Barnes and Nobles. I know it's on Walmart. I don't know. I haven't went on all the search engines, but I know as of right now, ordering wise, I know you can order from Amazon. I know you can still order it from Barnes and Noble.
And there you have it, our first episode of Horizons at Home. Thank you for joining our conversation with Poop Johnson, and we encourage you to go out there and get his book available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. That's it for this week. Join us next week for a surprise new guest right here on Horizons at Home. Have a great weekend.